Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I'm Vikova, you can call me V, and today I am streaming more Roadwarden, which I'm very excited to return to. We're in the hidden village, so many exciting things are happening. We're actually making friends and improving the world. Who would have thought that this grimdark game would become so positive and affirming? I'm having a great time. Hello and welcome to Joe, to Alquill, to Calmly Enveloped, to Kyrivo, hello, to Evil Tack, and to Sario and to Rowan. It's lovely to have you all here today. To invite a dragon to be careless. I think we've had that one before, and I complained about it then, so I won't do so again. Hello, Cyrillic, welcome. I think my headphones are a little bit busted. So the connection has definitely been coming in and out. So I might midstream have to switch to my old headphones, which have broken earpieces, but don't have a broken connection. So that would be an improvement if so. But otherwise, hopefully we can make it through the stream. Let's get into the game, I guess. Okay, so we're speaking to the leader of this green, I think it was the Green Mountain tribe. So he straightens up, giving you a serious look. Sit down with us and rest. For all we've found our freedom here. The shaman gives you both puzzled looks, but says nothing. Mate freedom seeker, be free of hunger and welcomed, he says to her, then addresses the women sitting at the fire in old speech. Soon after you sit down, an aromatic bowl of stew lands in your hands, warming them up. The chief and the shaman also receive very small servings, accompanying you. Once the bowls are taken away, the gentle voice of Guyane breaks the silence. Can't move mountains for you, but we listen and share. She reaches for a few gems in various colours and puts them into a single row. Okay, so now's like where we're gonna question them and find out loads of stuffs. So, I'm trying to find Asterion. He was here, and a few times. With every word, Cephas's voice gets quieter, as if he's not sure how to continue. We helped him, for he gave us a grand promise, and a sign of his trustworthiness. Brought back its soul, to be lost in the woods, but it's been almost a season since we saw him. What kind of person is Asterion? A shell lost on its path to nowhere. Oh, sorry, that was Guyane, but anyway. Guyane stares into your eyes. A soul torn by its dreams, a word spoken to no one. The chief frowns, but doesn't add anything. That saurian I saw outside, it used to belong to Asterion, am I right? I did think that. That's correct. Cephas's approving eyes contrast with the threatening look of his nose, and his voice is warm. Where he was heading, there was no place for a beast that doesn't swim well. So he asked us to look after it. And also, he was afraid of unicorns. Am I going to have to leave Shadowfax to follow Asterion to the volcanic island? I don't want to have to leave Shadowfax behind. Who will keep me company? Who will tell me facts about the interplay of light and darkness? I can't live without Shadowfax. After you mention that you doubt having fewer teeth would help someone deal with such a monster, Guyane chuckles, then bites her lower lip, showing her unusually long canines. You'd like to cut skin of spirit of havoc. City folk think to unicorns about a battering ram. Your own soul carriers, led by judgment, not anger. They eat grass and shoots, not flesh, and when not with calves, listen to kind tales and prayers. The chief nods. It was wise of him not to take with him a bloodthirsty saurian. It won't learn when to bow, for it trusts only its own muscles and fear. We're going to talk to the unicorns. Ooh! Old Pagos, the village opposite side of the peninsula, was attacked by a plague, but not anymore. Cephas glances at the puzzled shaman and says a word in the old speech, causing her to gasp and switch the positions of a few bones. He then looks at you. Terrible, but we can't do nothing. They have to endure it and will not risk breaking their air. Gayen nods in agreement, even though there's a sadness to her voice. Souls and tribes come and go, but to woods abide. For 10 years now we have let the lowlanders keep to themselves. Okay. Can we talk about High Island? We can, but no soul of our tribe has been here in generations. Even a gentle frown changes the chief's scarred face greatly. We won't return to here when to cities remain a treat. I think that's supposed to be threat? I don't appreciate these phonetic accents, to be honest. Kairuvo says, Blair, gotta leave again already. Oh, well, thanks for dropping by, Kairuvo. I hope the rest of the day's good. Would it matter to you if I were to land there? The chief answers slowly, with a night-cold voice. We'll cut any limb at so much as touches our homeland. Okay. He doesn't trust me enough to tell me. Oh, I need one more vitality, then he'll trust me. Why don't you want anyone to land there? What good could it bring us? The chief leans back as if there's nothing to talk about. After a few breaths, the shaman chips in. We'll enter to island like a traveller returning to our bed. Eyes of to city folk see not our homeland, but our failed search for iron. Eyes of to other tribes see our lost treasures not as soil, sky and rains, but only as belongings to grab and sell. Our friends help us keep an eye on to island, and if anyone breaks our rule, we'll be ready to swim to her and to stop our greed. But it's no longer a home to any human soul. What's the story of the island? Gayen smiles and starts to speak in the old speech, as if she's repeating the same tale for the 100th time, then chuckles. Once she shifts to the city tongue, she struggles at some points, but Cephas provides her with words and phrases or fills the gaps on his own. This isn't in quotation marks, but I think this is spoken. The Green Mountain, the life-giving volcano in the centre of the island, has been home to the tribe for longer than anyone can remember. As we're older than any of 10 cities, though you doubt there... Okay, no, it's like a mixture. Though you doubt there are any ways to verify such a claim. The shaman spends a good few minutes describing the days of her ancestors. Through hardship, they managed to tame enough land to grow vegetables, and made a great chunk of the island their forest garden. After finding the iron and copper veins, they had enough tools and weapons to save their offspring from back-breaking labour. She's also eager to describe the deeds of many families and heroes, and the unique herbs with their beautiful names, but the chief asks her to move on. For most of its existence, Hovlavan avoided the island, finding hardships in getting close to it, and since the pagans were reluctant to accept dragon bones, the merchants saw little value in their wares. However, once the tribes of the peninsula noticed the growing supplies of alloys used by the island folk and their fishes, the news reached the city. A little more than 200 years ago, the officials tried to negotiate a new trade deal with the locals, but to no avail. Finally, they allowed their corsairs to start their usual efforts, putting to use the growing height of their ships. At first, they harassed the fishers, then landed on the island itself. The tribe was ready to fight for what was theirs, but the cruelty they faced outmatched them. The kidnappings made the locals afraid to leave their walls, and in the raids enslaved whole hamlets or burned many crucial structures. Using traps and their knowledge of the terrain, the tribe managed to kill more than they lost, but the corsair ships kept coming, always led by new, yet ever more experienced captains. After a few bloody battles, the forest fires started, and the locals understood they had little time before the wrath of the herds would trample them to death. We are to 8th generation of the tribe living here, so close to the coast, yet so far from it, she ends her tale. Taming to new grounds was harsh, and once the first children born in T's tunnel started breeding, only a fit of the tribe was still here to welcome them. Alright. Why won't your tribe try to reclaim the island? To root of our torment survived to plague, to invasion, and disasters now known only to oldest tales. Diane grabs a few small bones from the fabric beneath her and starts to roll them between the palms of her hands. We have no strength to fight it, no hope to defeat it, but we can wait in humbleness and hope to spirits will turn our face away once our enemies come to them for help. Cephas rests a hand on his side. Returning would anger the herds and cost us dearly. Yet after 1-2 generations, once our walls and children grow strong, he looks at an infant being fed by the fire. The corsairs will once again bring torches and chains, for our right allows them to murder freely. He utters the soul carrier's name with disgust. Leading our tribe to our homeland is to dream of every chief and every shaman, but to dream of the prideful. Yeah, I don't trust the right followers either. There seems to be a lot of evil going on there. Alright, making my phone quiet. Hi, Sky! Oh, you made it here? I did! Is the island dangerous? Cephas shrugs. As dangerous as to wildest woods and hills. Its roads are no more, and spiders and ape men now live in our houses. The city folk who try to take our lands may still be tear, walk in shells without souls, but after so much time may likely went after blood onto mainland. Okay, that's everything I wanted to ask about. Let's see... Can I help you with anything? Do we look as if we need one's help? Do you see cracks in our walls that can't be sealed without your blood, or monsters you can sing to sleep? Guyon reaches for 2 green gems and places them on the edge of the fabric, side by side. Don't get angry. Her voice is close to a whisper and seems to ease the ire in the chief's gaze right away. When she looks at you, she keeps her hands in front of her, palms up. Does your soul speak of pride or of care? Can't see it, but we're good as is, and ask you to trust our mouths to ask for us if we need them to. Okay. I'd like to learn more about your village. The shaman leans forward, smiling. The fire plays with her shadow. And how? In your tongue? Without crossing our tunnels, or ploughing our fields, or battling with the snowcats, or making a cup bowl with our elders? She gestures for you to take a glance at the huts, the spears, and the rocks beneath her. We've our own seasons, trades, and legends. Spirits guide us through dreams and thunders. Children learn stories older than emperors. As she grows more passionate with every word, the chief observes her with a smile. He reaches for his sword, observing the dark scabbard covered with fancy patterns of squares. If we were a tribe to 10 cities, you'd like to hear it we dig for ore, grow crops, and... We lack some things, we have others in abundance, but we accept what we got and won't open our gates to no merchants. All blood we can't trust. Well, I don't want to help Hovlaven anyway, but what do you think about Hovlaven? We don't. Cephas's voice is cold, and when Guyon chips in, she hands you a soft though heavy pouch. Inside you find a collection of dozens of red crystals, each one smaller than a game die. The city's corsairs pillaged our homeland for years, saying they would stop once we'd agreed to pay the yearly tribute. They murdered us and torched our arbours and crops, for we held to island before them and prayed to different spirits. You return the pouch and ask what's the meaning behind it. The shamans of old made a tomb with 1 rock for every soul lost to 10 cities. They brought them here to help us remember. I expected this mountain to be a bit more green. Yeah. We are of it, but not on it. Cephas glances at the flames. The Green Mountain is on High Island. Guyon's voice becomes melodic, even though she pauses when she says a few of the more unique words out loud. To volcano into very centre. Around it our fields were growing like I could in no other sort of soil of the north. I can't melodically do this accent. Every few lifespans lava turns to ashes to woods that it feeds, but these ashes give birth to the sweetest fruits and heaviest grain. Okay. The roads are dangerous. Do you have any useful equipment to sell? The chief scoffs. Why, do you have something we may want? We don't have dragon bones, don't trade, and need what we have. We have more horns than we need, the shaman chips in, and after a bit of a pause, Cephas agreed. We could barter for it. Our guards and scouts use the horns of many beasts, but there's only one type we don't use anymore. To war horn, Guyan adds ominously. Roars like a dragon. The chief smirks. That's right, most beasts flee when they hear it. But we can't show you how it sounds here. We'd go deaf. Interesting. Can I see it? The dragon horn. When blown, it imitates a roar of an enormous creature. So I can scare creatures away! Oh, I definitely need that. Can I barter for it? I have nothing to barter. You look at the horn, thinking of the things you could offer to the tribe. Maybe another time. I guess I'll ask who's the decision maker, but it's clearly both. To village decides for to village, Cephas smiles. Into tribe, a chief worries about things of today, and a shaman about to things of to past and tomorrow. Guyan looks at him with respect. For Terra harvests of tis season, she says solemnly, but taste like ashes without memories and hopes. She points at the bones and pebbles beneath her, as if they're meant to explain it all. A quiet tune plays from the opposite end of the chamber in an attempt to calm a crying child. Alright, more questions about High Island. I can't ask anything else. I stand up. Farewell. The Saurian rider helps you leave the caves. The sunlight and the crisp air are a welcome change. I'm trying to find a few hunters from the village of Creeks. Were they around? She exchanges a look with the other armoured villagers to her left and right, but they shake their heads, and she meets your eyes again with a confident nod. We haven't seen anyone from that tribe in many years. Hi, Jabal! Jabal says, I'm kind of sad I didn't do all the stuff here during my run of the game. This place is great. Well, you were on a tight timeline, whereas I am not. This is really interesting. I'll need to hide, sleep. She looks away and speaks with her neighbours. You recognise words such as shelter or stranger, but when she's not doing her best to speak slowly and clearly, it's as if she's using yet another language. She then gestures for you to follow her to the shed just a few steps behind you, and draws aside the curtain covering the entrance. The room is filled with sacks, old barrels, and bone-made tools. We'll prepare you a sleeping spot, and your beast can stay outside. The village is heavily guarded at night, don't be afraid. Soon after, a few of the farmers bring a pile of furs, placing them in the corner. Move them to the centre when you're ready. Honestly, this is better than you get in most of the villages. I'm going to try and powder my basalt, ritually powder it. You nod to the Saurian rider and step away. You follow the unclear steps of the ritual, preparing the new ingredient without fully understanding how the steps you take make any difference. While some alchemical rituals are essential, you are never sure which ones can be omitted or altered. Will Companion, the air-like shell that carries Numa, see your efforts as sufficient? You can only hope. You place the piece of basalt on a larger rock, not getting in anyone's way, then spend a few minutes breaking it loudly into smaller chunks and grinding them into dust. At the beginning of the process, a few of the locals, mostly children, observe you, but after seeing your slow progress, they start to whisper, then chuckle. One of the boys gets closer, takes a grinding rock from you and starts to show you how to use it, speaking too quickly in the old speech for you to recognize any of the instructions. Then the other children also find a few rocks and join these efforts and help you finish the task. This is lovely. Once you fill up a small sack with the black powder, your hands are tired and a bit scratched. The children smile at each other, raising their skinny arms in a way that's meant to show everyone how strong they are. Jabal says, ooh, I wonder what happens if you blow the war horn at the giant club statue. Well, I have to get the war horn first. I don't have anything they want. Let's see, I put it with the rest of my bundles, then get back to the cave mouth. Magic, says your guide calmly, using one of the few words that sounds almost identical in both languages. And after seeing your nod, she simply points at the bucket, letting you wash your hands. I enter the cave. Okay, so I can... Wait. Farewell. I can't sleep here. That's because it's too early. How long? I have 6 hours. Could I get back to a better rest? Let's see. I can sleep here. That's in 3. 4:15 will take me back here. That would be great. Because I need to gain another heart. And let's not forget, I do still need to find the bandits. Alright, for now, I'm going back to Foggy Lake. I need them to like me more, so I need to increase my appearance. Let's see. Almost dusk. I can probably sleep here now. Let's see. I sleep. Your sleep gets distorted by the foul smell coming from your bundles. The raw fish meat is now rotting. Its state will get worse with every day, but even now you struggle to imagine that you could continue your journey with the smell around. Ah, I should have cooked it. Ah, heck. I throw it somewhere where it won't bother anyone and get back to sleep. Sky says you haven't asked Foggy about the woman's statue yet. It's not particularly important, it's just pleasant lore. I think I have. I don't remember, or maybe I've only asked the foragers. I approach Foggy. That old gal from Gale Rocks told me it's the Wanderer, a spirit who looks after travellers. She's centuries old, the spirit, not the statue, and needs gifts. Just a bit of this and that to pay for her own food and shelter. At her feet, one should share an apple, a dragon bone, even a pretty pebble. Those who skimp on her will one day be in need, and will see a woman with a staff on the horizon, too busy with her own struggles to help them. Foggy frowns, removing the scars on her forehead. But how do we know what these travellers saw? Beats me. Okay, cool. Let's see. Yes, my Asterian option. I think she might not say yes, though. Tell me more about the stuff Asterian brought you. She observes you with the patience of a statue, then sends the one-handed man outside with a nod. After a minute, she brings from the basement a simple package covered with wax, tied together with a couple of cords. She removes them in silence. The scent of honey fills the air. She raises a dark cloak, green like trees covered by shadows. The shapes of leaves are embroidered on the surface with a silver-like thread, from the hood to the very bottom. They are the size of your hand, spread sparsely, elegant. Each one is different. It's heavy, most likely rainproof, but the inner layer is downy, made from lamb's wool. Every scrap of this garment was touched by a master. There's magic in it. Foggy's voice is solemn. Keeps you warm at night without a fireplace. Makes rocks feel like fur. Oh, that's the cloak that Eudosha was telling us about. Okay, yes. Oh, we found it. That's great. Why did he sell it to you? He needed dragon bones. Was planning to travel somewhere. Needed coins for a boat. She folds the cloak and packs it again, tying the cords with her thoughts. I told him to look for it in Gale Rocks. You wait for her to go on, but she changes the topic. I wanted to sell it for 50 dragons, but if you're interested, we'll see. I won't ask a fortune from a friend. I would really like that. Hoo hoo hoo! Ah. Where was he headed, Foggy? I told you everything I know, love. She holds the package with her elbow. Take it from here on your own. I would like to buy something. How much is it for the cloak? Only 16? I could get that, but I also need tons of money for loads of other purposes. Oh! I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna travel. I need something I can trade for the horn. I don't understand what they need, though. Maybe something from Eudosha? I still don't know what to do with this rock slide. I have my magic chisel, but I can't do anything about it. And I need to ask the people of Howler's Dell about their terrible atrocities. Let's see, we're going to the Wanderer. I can actually make an offering! Well, I'm going to wash myself first. There we go, 4 out of 5 appearance plus the extra vitality, so we're doing quite well right now. I'm going to make an offering to the Wanderer to ask for her protection. The surroundings are silent, as if they're holding their breath. What do I have? I'll place some food. On top of the cold stone, you form a small pile of dried fruits, nuts, and a sausage. There's no sign of Wanderer's gratefulness. She doesn't bow, nod, nor smile. Not a single beautiful bird sits down on her head. No squirrels show up on the tree. After a minute or so, you return to your mount, feeling tranquil and prepared. Let's see if I've got any non-rotten fish. Okay. Alright. So, are we looking for bandits? Are we going to go question the people of Howlersdale? Or shall we go back to the tribe and see if a higher appearance gets us more information? But we still don't have anything to trade with them, so I don't know if now's the time. Sky says there are various valuable objects you can find in various side quests that are tradable. Well, I've already used the keg of cider in order to gain access to the tribe, but I don't have anything else. Jabal says, I think we're also some way off working out what to do about White Marshes. And I'm very keen that we do not leave that unsolved, because I did, and I don't recommend that. Well, I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to do there. They won't let me speak to the leader, Arentius, so I just haven't been able to do anything. Every time I go there, there's nothing. Definitely don't go back home to the city without taking care of White Marshes. Alright. Let's go and see if we can get in then. We'll go speak to Thursus. Oh, hang on. We'll go to the forest garden. I know I have food rations. I'll just go straight to Thursus. The gentle breeze is soothing, but spoiled by the sour scent of rotting soil. You avoid deeper breaths. Thursus is sitting on the bench, observing your arrival as he grinds something in a mortar, but once you greet him, he leaves his tools behind and moves to the edge of the scarp. The creepers idly hang from his arms, resting on the ground. He won't be in my debt unless I weaken the bandits and get rid of the undead in the village. I don't have a problem with the undead. I have a problem with Arentius, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I need Thursus to go back to White Marshes and do something there, so I don't... Should I say something needs to be done about the undead? I feel so weird about it because the undead aren't really doing anything. I feel like the game is like, undead are bad and therefore you must do something about them. But the undead at White Marshes aren't doing anything bad, they're just farming. I need you to open the path to White Marshes. I will give you wild fruits and leaves. More experienced player check. Do I need to say something needs to be done about the undead to make any progress with White Marshes? Calmly says undead are just existing. They're just existing. Arentius is definitely like something is going on, but Sky says yes. Alright, we'll go with it. Something needs to be done. He returns your gaze and sits down on the bench. Yep, but it's not a task for a warlock and a city folk. You'd need a band, and I'll tear off your head sooner than I'd bring a threat to my tribe. You reach toward your blade, but the creepers remain idle. You're stepping into a treant's branch. Seeing your frown, he explains. Their grasp gets tighter the more you move, you see? Forget it. He waves it off. Why do you care about any of that? Let my people choose their path. Your tribe's becoming an outcast, that is true. You speak as if it's a matter of the future, but my tribe accepts the risk. I can't care less. All I want's my tribe's safety, but this means not a thing to Arentius. He reached for the broken hourglass in his ear. What's your plan once you get to him? I want to learn what pushes him to do all this. He must have his reasons. He freezes as if he barely understands what you mean. Huh. It's maybe a good first step, but then he needs some persuading and it won't be as easy as you think. He gives you a warm look and stands up slowly and looks at the clouds. All I can do is find a way to let you into this house, and you'll have but one chance if you can convince me you're to be trusted. He doesn't trust me enough yet? So I need to do something with the bandits. We'll return to this later. That's fine. So I can't do anything with this yet. Let's see. We've already paid to go into White Marshes. Let's go see. As long as the necromancer's alive and has power, the undead are nice, but necromancers aren't immortal. Well, that's true. Approach Valens. What do you have? I don't really want to sell any of that. Oh, you need stuff. Everyone's hungry here. Yeah, I've sold him some food rations. Alright. Helvius is not going to let me see him, so I don't really need to be here right now. There was an option for giving Thyrsus stuff fee. I guess I could just give him stuff, but wouldn't it be better just to sort out the bandit problem, which I already intend to do? Especially if I only have one chance. I did see the I could give you stuff option, but I'll go to the Old Forest Garden. That might also work. I mean, it did say that. The sparse trees and shrubs grow strong, but there are no fruits. Alright, well we'll try giving Thyrsus stuff. I need to meet with Laurentius. Do I have anything that could convince you? I need his trust. Yeah, he doesn't even trust me enough to even look. Alright. Now I do know something about where to find the bandits. It's in the heart of the woods somewhere. I bet I don't have any actual information about it in my journal though. It doesn't say anything about where the bandits are, even though I specifically went and found that information. Well, great. Hang on. Heard that to find the hideout, I need to enter the shortcut that leads through the heart of the forest, reach the cairn, then turn north. So we could go find those bandits. Okay. Reach the cairn and turn north. Jabal saying middle of the woods then north. Yep, yep. Let's see. So says apparently the warden doesn't keep a good journal. Well, it is me, and I definitely wouldn't keep a good journal. The shortcut? What time is it? This is not a good time to travel there. What could I offer them that they don't have, that they might want? The villages. I'm just thinking we haven't got enough time to go to the forest. Maybe if I make a potion? I'm gonna go to Foggy Lake and we'll see. We'll take things from there. Let's see. I'm gonna enter the tavern. I'm gonna go to the alchemy set. Maybe the withering dust? Don't have the ingredients. I can make a blinding powder, but I don't really want it. Healing potion. I guess I'll take it. I make the powder. You place a stool in a convenient spot, letting your arms rest on the table. Paying close attention, you fill a copper cauldron with an even layer of powder, then warm it up slightly. Keeping track of the time with an hourglass, you move the flame to a different spot after every minute, then mark these positions in your wax tablet to avoid any mistakes. For half an hour, you heat up the tiniest speck of dust, then open the jar with soil and add it to the pot, mixing with a ladle. You keep doing so until you notice the effects of the pneuma. The entire mixture suddenly gets clay brown, shrinks in half, and after you touch it, it's ice cold. You fill up a pouch and shake it around. You won't underestimate your new weapon. I clean up everything and step away from the table. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What do you have? Just the cloak. I don't think they're gonna want iron scraps. You'll buy a raw fish from me? You know, by the lake, aye? She laughs and gestures for you to take your catch away. There are fresh fish in creeks, salty ones in Gale Rocks. Maybe try in the Ape Ale Inn in Howlers, or in Pelt of the North. Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think I have time to do either of those things, though. No. But I do have time to get to the foraging grounds and back, so I might do that. I did ask the old druid about the tribe. The sky is filled with croaking arguments of the mountain birds, and you notice almost no insects around you. You don't spot any larger predator. I could try to forage, that will take even more time. Yeah, go for it. Ooh, what? You put even more effort into exploring the area, but you only find things that you can't use on the road. Honey, mushrooms, insects, acorns, eggs, or little critters, snakes, and lizards. You do, however, find an unusual spot in the far east, near a shallow pond. A small ravine of sorts, though instead of water, it hides torn clothes, broken tools, and remains of a camp. There are no bones around. Whoever had found their end in this place surely turned into an undead years or decades ago. There's a broken rope hanging from a tree stump. The other part of the plant is already at the bottom of the ravine. I should not... I need to come back later. That's... I want to do this bit. Alcohol, weapons, and magical items. I can't afford any weapons. I don't have any magical items I can afford to trade. And I've already done the alcohol, so... Anyway, I don't need, like, tons of tips. I just, every now and then, I ask for a little bit of assistance. I'm okay. Let's see. Thank you. I guess I'll go back, I'll sleep, and I'm gonna go back to the foraging grounds, because I didn't know there was an extra area there. But yeah, I mean, I forget so much that I learn with a week in between each session, and I find it hard to find things in the journal, so that is genuinely really helpful. Sleep. We love free sleep. Going to eat. I'll wash, and then we'll go and have a look down there. No, I guess we should just go to the mountain. I shouldn't go down. Oh, I could go down there. I washed myself. Fish trap? I will forget about this if I don't do it now. I want to find whatever's in the foraging grounds. Cyrillic says, do not magic under the influence of weaponry. Let's see. I'm going to look at the remains in the small ravine. You grab Shadowfax's halter. Your mount observes the area nervously, not willing to graze on the sparse, dry grass. You pat its side. It won't take long, you say, knowing both that it doesn't understand you, and that you can't be sure if the words are true. It lowers its head and starts to paw the ground. Not willing to repeat the mistake of the previous traveller, you tie your rope to a stone instead of any of the plants. You take only what's necessary and descend, leaning with your boots against the rock face. The sounds of wind and birds are muffled and echoed. You end up in a corridor of rocks. They approach the traveller's possessions. You find no blood, flesh, or bones, but the clues tell you all you need. Someone was betrayed by their own rope, now lying on the ground with a torn loop. They landed on their bag, in which you find a bunch of broken supply jars and scraps of linen, then tried to crawl away. You find nothing of value, not even dragon bones. Maybe that's why the dead used to own such unreliable equipment. You're ready to climb back, but once you turn around, you realize that you've overlooked something sticking out from the wall. A pickaxe, surrounded by dozens of cracks. Some of the smaller rocks have already crumbled up. I grab the tool. That could be useful. It gives way easily, more thanks to the rust than to your muscles. You throw it away, using your hands to pull away the shards of the wall, and gasp once you recognize the patina on their surface. You kneel down and take a better look at the other rocks. At least half of them bear a touch of the green copper, like a statue in an old temple. You come to your senses, pushing away the images of fortune and future idleness. A large group would have to set up a hamlet here to even inspect the vein with workers, guards, wood, supplies, tools, all under the noses of the locals. Squabbles over ore can turn violent pretty fast. Now I have to decide if it's a secret I take to Hovlavin or something I share with the locals. I think we all know what I'm going to do with this. Alright. Sterling says they spent all their bones on crappy tools. Sky says stuff's expensive, couldn't blame them. Everything's so expensive, it's true. I'm going to give this knowledge to Creeks. Let's see. I'm going to look for Ela, the carpenter. How do I tell you? Ephron? No. Harvard? No. Well. Never mind. Quirrell, hi! Quirrell says we all know V doesn't care about Hovlavin. It's true. Hovlavin can eat it. Says Sterling, absolutely true. Sky says maybe it's an Eastern Path thing? Oh, maybe. Let's try that. Nope. That's Ela. I've made some additional progress with the Eastern Path. Nope. But I did place the sign. He exhales and nods gently. Thanks, friend. I was thinking about it, and maybe a good opportunity for us to visit that mountain after all. There's a lot to talk about, and there will be even more in spring. Here. He hands you 2 dragon bones that he already held in a pocket of his pants. I grab them without a word. I'm surprised you keep finding something to do. This land really is a mess. I'll let you know if there's anything else. How do I tell them? You have to decide. I'm like, great, I've decided. I'll tell them. And then I can't tell them. If I get protection on the road, will I get money? How much money? I'll lose an unknown amount of health and beauty, but I'll gain some food, and I'll gain 2... That would be enough to buy the cloak. Which maybe I could give to the mountain tribe. Well, I'll probably need a good cloak to sleep on when I get to the heckin' island. I need so much more money than I have. Can I tell Foggy? You ride by a patrol from Creeks that's escorting a cart loaded with timber. They greet you politely, mentioning the growing safety on the roads. As you ride further, you notice the fresh coat of pebbles covering the muddier scraps of the trail, the trimmed shrubs, and the cleared tufts of grass. Yay! From now on, it should be easier to cross the path between Foggy Lake and the village. I'm making a difference. Yay! Foggy, can I tell you... Copper. Okay, well... How much time do I have left? 9 hours. I think that should be enough. I'm heading into the heart of the forest. Sorry, a game you must choose. Player chooses game, not like that. Yeah, apparently. I return to the cairn in the middle of the forest. Oh, 3 hares cross the road so quickly you barely notice them. Soon after they disappear in the shrubs, a large spotted cat shows up, trying to catch up with them. It spares you only a glance. Alright. Quirrell says, so I'm digging through the local files of some computer program, and they did something quite funny. Each supported language. has a numeric code so the program can find it. This code turns out to be the language's country international phone prefix. So 44 for English, 49 for German, and so on. Oh, that's fun. Srillik says maybe they didn't think you'd hate Hovlavin. I'm sure they knew. Shadowfax stops and steps back. Right in the middle of the road lies a cat the size of a bear, lapping the nasty pond water. You look around, but there are no other monsters. The thick fur is the colour of the tree trunks, with black spots on its side and back, and glimpses of cream on the tail and head. You notice scars spread around the tail left by claws, tusks, and fangs of its victims. The hindpaws are larger than your head. You'd need a whole squad to overcome such a creature. I have to scare it away somehow? Sure wish I had some kind of dragon horn. We ride to the other side quickly. I die. I don't think I saved. Oh no. Your palfrey obeys you with a snort. The cat turns around in silence, observing you with its only eye. The other one has been lost to claws. The ride feels like it goes on forever, but then the beast lets out a loud roar. It leaps forward, then again, faster than any human. It hits at the horse's rump, knocking the large animal down. You've managed to jump off, saving your legs from the crushing weight, but the cat doesn't stop. Soon your skull crushes, straight as soul. Let me replay this encounter. Thank you. I'm just going to leave. I wait for the cat to get bored for as long as it takes. That's not going to work out. I'll go to the eastern entrance. I have blinding powder. Sky says check the journal for cat tips. I'll have a look. The rocky hills give way to meadows and tree roots. The saplings wake up beneath the remains of the burnt forest, competing with young grasses and ivies. At first, the nearby howls make you think of humans, not beasts, but the numerous throats make you reach for your axe. The creatures, not even waist high, come out from the taller grasses and the sparse bushes, surrounding you quickly. Despite their wolf-like heads, their front paws would fit a monkey. Their furs are mostly brown and short, but carry scars left by all sorts of cuts and scratches. Almost every knoll lacks a part of its shell, a limb, an ear, an eye, and a nose. Some of them move on all fours and sit down on their rears, while others walk around on their hind legs alone, though with varying levels of confidence. A few have the grace of a determined robber, many more resemble the harbour drunkards. I consider my options. Oh my gosh. While you may be able to take down a few of them, they will surely bite into Shadowfax's legs. You won't keep both of you alive. You could follow one of the old tales, according to which the beastfolk can be bribed with a gift of food. For now, the beasts are keeping their distance, burying their teeth between their grunts. Sitting in the saddle, you're 4 times taller than them. I don't have enough meat to feed even a pack. I don't have enough fish. They may well be smarter than people think, but I can't think why they would need dragon bones. That's to trade with people. With humans, rather. They're obviously people. I'm not going to fight them. I'll ride back to the gate. I'm just trying to get out anyway. You hear angry shouts and grunts, then find 2 brown-furred goblins in a brighter tunnel. Their hairless faces with small eyes and large mouths are now turned toward you. They are a few steps apart, aiming at each other with one long stick and one club. Between them is a pair of deer antlers. I observe them for a bit. With worried ape-like snorts, they totter around, afraid to reach for their find, and not sure where they should fix their gaze. You interrupted a family dispute. I wait to see what they're going to do. After an awkward minute, the goblin with the club drops its weapon, waves its arms, lets out a weak screech and bites the closest antler. The other one grunts and picks up the second half, and soon after, both creatures flee into the shrubs awkwardly, sparing you only one more glance. Let's go, Shadowfax. I will not fight any goblins. Let it be known. You approach the monkey's territory. The dwellers gather around, observing you, jumping around and yelling, but they keep their distance. I ride forward. Your ride goes mostly undisturbed. A couple of missiles fall on your bags or hit Shadowfax's side, but that's about it. You reach the edge of the troops' territory in no time, and while the monkeys stay loud, they don't pursue you anymore. Maybe they got used to me. I'm not invoking any wrath and no herds. Alright. The long shadow cast by the crags protects you from the sun. Quintus looks at you from the top of the precipice that's near the tower. He crosses the parapet, gestures for you to wait, and climbs down the other side of the wall and opens the gate. Salutations, Warden! What are you, a Lord of the Wild, or aught? Can you leave yet? I probably could give you 11 dragons, but I need those right now. Travel. I can sleep at the Elder's Cave. Alright. Ooh, can you help me wake the giant in the far east? Yes. It's the forest elder, the forest speaker. His blue eyes are piercing through your skull and chest. The knowledge you gather helps the causes I find dear to me. That much I saw. Here's what you'll do. Kneel in front of the statue and pray with these words. He utters a bunch of nonsense, and seeing your confused look, he lets out a sigh. Either with these words on your tongue, you have nay eyes to see through them. Speak with me and learn. He spends a good few minutes teaching you the phrases from the old speech, until you're able to repeat them without mistakes, though also no comprehension. While your tongue is not used to some of the sounds, their rhythm makes you think of a poem and helps you a lot. You need nothing more. Ooh! Alright, I'm asleep. Your sleep gets distorted by the foul smell coming from your bundles. Oh, more fish is rotted. Should have given it to the gnolls even if I couldn't give them anything else. Alright, I go outside. Approach the spring. I wash my shell. I step away. There we go. We can wake up the statue. Maybe I should? Jabal says, I do think it might have been interesting if there was more variance in Hovlaven's impacts. People on the peninsula are mostly really not desperate to deal with him. So you're heavily disposed to abandon your mission if you're a vaguely decent person, whereas even considering Hovlaven being generally bad, it's sort of surprising there aren't a few more people on the peninsula who see opportunity or think of Hovlaven as the best worst option for economic reasons. It's true. Quarrel says, I remember you tried praying when you were there, and it talked about how you remembered some old speech that might help, but couldn't concentrate. I guess kneeling was the part you were missing. I guess. I'm going straight to the statue. This has been not a very focused Roadwarden session, but I'm having a nice time. There's an unsettling rustle among the bushes above you, just in case you reach for your blade. I return to the statue. I try to awaken it. Pray. But I still can't focus. Alright, journal. Where's the statue of the giant? Nope. The sleeping giant. I should start with kneeling. I need to kneel first and then pray? Oh my gosh. Kneel. Oh, wow. Wild. Thanks, Coral. You rest your knees on the ground to show your respect and humility, just like your ancestors would. Then I do something else. I pray. Yeah, I'm kneeling in front of the statue. It feels right. You say a few words and your thoughts are unusually keen and focused, as if you've entered a new stage of the ritual. I follow the lead of my ancestors and pray as they would. You place the blanket beneath your knees and prepare yourself for a long prayer. You bow down your head and stretch out your arms, whispering the words that simply feel right. You approach the spirits living in the garden and the mountains, asking the ancestors for guidance and wisdom. You can't be sure they're listening, but with many breaths your thoughts get clear and tranquil. Even Shadowfax is quiet. I pay no attention to the passing minutes. One after another, tiny stars, white, blue, orange, and yellow, emerge from the dark cloak. Some of them get wider and more intense, while many more stay dim. After a few moments, they move no more, and you get used to the hollow darkness remaining between them. Knowledge! I don't need to memorize the signs, I'll just write them down. You grab your wax tablet and copy the larger dots onto it, forming a simple picture that's much easier to comprehend while it's flat. You double-check your notes and add a few letters to mark the specific colours just in case it's of importance. Seems like I'm done here. What is this? What is this? I know the illustration's beautiful. The southern stars appearing on it. This is very exciting. Skrillex is a picture of an anglerfish. No! Alright, hang on, journal. I recorded the pattern of stars I found in the statue. But what is it for? I must know. Alright. 9 says, I wonder if it's giving you a map, possibly the map of Dark Bramble. No! 6 hours. Oof. Who do I tell about this ore? I want to tell people the nearest settlement is Creeks and it won't let me tell them. Maybe I could tell Eudosha? I have to sleep in the tower. How many hours do I have? 6? I'll travel to Eudosha and see if there's anything I can do there. Maybe I can buy something. Sky says there's eventually an event in Creeks where you can tell them. Also an option to tell Thias. Oh, I would never tell Thias. You take a short ride through the roads surrounding the tower. The branches, rocks, plants, and bones are cleared. The trail evened out, and in many spots you notice large prints left by the boulder-like feet. Eudosha has kept her word. This is so good! Crossing these hills should be much easier now. I hope we don't invoke the wrath of the Huds. You touch the cold shell. The monster's eyes glow red. Strider, come inside. I wouldn't mind a bit of company. Ah! We're friends! The golems let you in. I've been friends with Eudosha far longer than she's been friends with me. I'm delighted. Oh, hooray! I enter the yard. You let Shadowfax loose, but no soul shows up to greet you. The door of the house is ajar. I'm going into Eudosha's house! I go inside. What? What? Huge! The chamber was meant to have only one dweller, but even in Hovlaven it would be seen as outrageously tiny. The air carries the scent of sweat and dirty clothes, but most importantly, smoke. A couple of fish and other pieces of meat are hanging above the hearth, even though there's no fire left. Eudosha is sitting on the floor with her back leaning against the wooden step, legs outstretched, feet resting on a wooden pillar. She's staring intensely at a sharp dagger that she spins in place. I wait for her to say something. I have a new shelter! I can stay with Eudosha! What? Oh! She ignores you for a good minute, then glances toward you with a weak smile. The house is a mess. If it bothers you, complain to the broth I made. A long pause. Take a seat if you want. It's getting chilly outside and you don't act like a bandit so far. If you need a place to crash, stay in my shed. Just don't carry any candles inside. I store hay there. Ah! I don't want to go right next to her. I'll make her uncomfortable. I'll sit on the wooden step near the fireplace. She spares you only a glance. So what brings you here? Ooh. I'm not offering her work in the city. Unless I know it's something she wants. Do you need help with anything else? Her lips form a shadow of a smile. I do, but it won't be as much of an ordeal. Just a simple errand. She moves closer and pulls out a dry flower petal from her pocket. See, it's like an orange tulip, but has much larger leaves. It's called snake bait. Bring me 1 or 2, freshly picked. I'll pay you 5 dragons, fair enough? Sure, any tip where I can find it? That's the hard part. You can try in the western villages, or in the deep woods. They need light, so not in caves, but stay in shadow, so below trees. Edges of meadows would be my guess. I do know a meadow edge. Or maybe you'll find one just by the main road. Keep your eyes open. What do you need it for? I simply want it. Her voice gets colder. These flowers are hard to find. I'd pay 5 dragons for them any day. You start to ask her another question, but she warns you with a scowl. That's all you need to know. Definitely a deal. So good! Jabal says, I'm both very happy for you and sad I didn't manage to make all these friends in the time I didn't have. Play on the easy mode. It's still really hard. Oh, it's still really, really hard. Questions about your golems. I don't want to buy your golem. Never mind. Let's trade. I could buy a spirit rock with fine Numa. That might be a good thing to give to the Green Mountain, so I will buy that. Thank you. I can sleep here when it's time? Huge. What a world! I can get to Foggy's. I should check the foraging ground maybe for flowers. Crosses odd Strider and Eudota to the shipping manifest? Oh, it would be so sad though. I hope we find Asterion. The giant is sparkly on the map now too? Really? Oh, I'll have to look for that. Oh yeah. I love it. Not the sleeping giant anymore, just the giant. I wonder if you can talk to the tribe's shaman about the stars. Oh, maybe. I'm gonna enter the tavern. I'm going to sleep. Going to eat and eat and buy fresh meals. Okay. We're gonna wash at the Wanderer. And we're going to head to the mountain and see if they want this stone. Any fish to sell? I think they've all rotten. I wash my shell carefully. I have 2 fish. I can cook them. Set the fish trap again. So I can cook them at the abandoned tower. Do I have time today? How much time do I have? I think I have time. I'm gonna go cook them. Let's see. I approach the campfire spot. I cook 2 fish. It takes you a good few minutes before the fire gets started, then grows strong enough for you to cook. In the meantime, you prepare the captured creatures. You cut through the stomachs, remove the guts with your fingers, then pierce through the animals with pointed sticks. Keeping them at a safe distance, you roast them slowly until they both look and smell prepared. I'm not going to gather firewood today. We have cooked fish. They would sell for more money. Alright. I've definitely got time to get to the tribe of the Green Mountain, so I'm going. And I can eat them now, yeah, that's true. You notice the Saurian even before you reach the village. The rider waves to you, then returns to the village, ready to greet you at the cave's mouth. I enter the cave. Let's barter. When blown, it imitates the roar of an enormous creature. I want... Nope. That Numa stone was useless to me. Oh well. Maybe another time. How much time do we have left? 5 hours. Maybe there's something I could buy at Pell to the North. Let's go have a look. Although, Yasin is not a fan of me. The lights are a promising refuge. The guards have bows and spears in their hands, and some rush to the gate, only to close it again right after you ride inside. Bored with life, Roadwarden, one of them grumbles. Hadn't you noticed it's almost dark? Yeah, but... not quite. I get off my horse and enter the inn. The windows are open, and while there's a few guards eating and drinking, the hall is clean. The innkeeper is leaning on the counter, dividing a small pile of dragon bones. The man without a name is sharpening a curved dagger used for shaving. Tulia is keeping her sword on top of the table, spinning it in place. I could go outside and speak to Dalit, because I have spoken to both of the prospects, I think. The guards are currently on watch. Okay, I enter the inn. Let's see. Go to the innkeeper. Can I have some leftovers? Ah. Show me your wares. Very cheap food rations that I can sell back to marshes. White marshes. I'll never be able to afford a crossbow. High class fur. I don't think anyone needs that. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? My healing potion. Iron scraps. I could free you from this iron and steel, but we don't have a furnace to work with them. Let's say 6 coins. I'd love that. Okay. Well, I don't think you have anything I want, and I have to sleep. I'll pay 1 rent. Oh, they'll give me a bath! The small room was quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast, an eggplant soup, a bowl with pears, and some crumbly biscuits. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood into the stove. He asks if you need anything. I would love some leftovers. Yes! Ha ha ha. Okay. Go outside. Approach the guards. Okay, we can help Dalit because we were looking at the recruits. About the hunters you wanted me to recruit. I could still learn more about both of them? Alright, never mind. Sell fish? I didn't have the option. He wasn't interested. Look, if I enter the inn, I go to the innkeeper. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? Yeah, it's not an option. He won't buy cooked? Okay. Oh, I'm not sure what's best to do right now. I want to finish the recruit quest, but I'm not sure who I'm supposed to speak to. I spoke to everyone I could in both Howler's Dell and Gale Rocks about the 2 recruits. Oh! This guy probably knows about them. I need to know their names, so I should check that right now. Recruit a hunter. Erastus and Cassia. I bet you won't know. You don't know much about them. Yeah, I think I've already asked you that. About the goblins? So that's to clear out the goblins, right? No! Oh! It's done. Most of the goblins are dead, some are back in the forest. The loot wasn't that great, she sighs. Though maybe we missed something under all the feces they left behind. Well, thanks to some magic, our wounded are fine. She pushes her hair away from her neck. But I still think the place should be burned. If I get the hunters for her first, then I negotiate the price of her help at High Island. Oh well. Okay. I guess today I'm going to go to Howler's Dell and see if there's anyone left to talk to. About Erastus. We gossip for a bit. I'm just going to keep them nice. I need to decide what to do with what I've learned about Steep House. I don't want to deal with that right now. It's too big. Oh, my headphones. No. Push. Oh, these are not good. You should ask people not from their respective tribes. I didn't have an option from you. I mean, that's basically just creeks left. We've just been to Eudosha. I didn't have an option there. Whatever, I'll just travel to creeks. This is not an efficient day. I don't think I have an option. I haven't really had an option from anyone. I've been around talking to everyone and I haven't had any options. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Ah. Sorry. Journal. Recruit a hunter. I was advised it may be easier to learn more about them if I ask people outside of their tribes, but where am I supposed to... Who am I supposed to ask? I've been traveling. Maybe you have to be better friends with Ephron? I think I'm like maximum friends with Ephron. I don't know. This game is hard! And often aimless! I really love it, but it is frustrating sometimes, where it's just like, I have no direction and no way to know whether something just isn't available yet. If they would do the grey thing all the time, that would be great, but they don't. Whoa. My headphones. I pulled my headphones out, sort of. I think I just nudged them. Oh no. The old druid has some dialogue about one of them? I was just there! What time is it? Well, I can sleep there, so... I'm gonna speak to the forest speaker. I don't have an option. These are all things I've... yeah, no, there's no option. Ugh. Well, it's sleep time now. We'll give one last go to getting to the bandits, but I think other than that I might stop today. I get fed up when I feel like I know what I'm trying to do and there's no available option. I've not been able to tell anyone about the copper. I've not been able to ask anyone about the hunters. It's frustrating me. Sorry, I didn't want to travel here. I wanted to travel here. Going to the cairn. Prepare yourself to face the gnolls, but no such creature shows up to face you. Maybe they found another spot to rob. Jabal says, I empathize a lot and often have this problem in RPGs. It's frustrating because I don't want RPGs where there's always a quest marker showing me exactly where to go. I don't enjoy that. But I don't like... I want to be able to work it out. If I just travel around and no one has anything to say to me, that's irritating. Sky says it's odd. Maybe you spoke to the old druid about Erastus in a previous stream. He'd have directed you to ask next. You think he... I mean, probably I just haven't unlocked it yet. He would have said something. Humans. They're not on the list there. Yeah, nothing from him has been put in the journal. Don't tell me, because I don't know for sure that I've probably just not unlocked it. You spot a glint of a spearhead among the bushes and a staff right next to it. They approach the trail quickly. I reach for my axe. The armed goblins with brown, grey and black furs cease their onslaught a few steps away from you. Some of them move on all fours while the others stand upright or lean on their weapons, balancing as they walk. They carry clubs, pointed sticks, rusty spears, a broken sword, a cartwheel. They fearfully observe your mount until one of the creatures steps forward and gives you a warning grunt. It's holding a deer antler. It's our goblin friends! I told you I was going to befriend goblins! This is the achievement of the stream! Yes! Thank you anyway, though, Sky. I mean, I assume I just haven't unlocked it. Jabal says, I think Roadwarden partly gets around this problem in the regular mode by its time limiting, so you just have to push on and move fast. You can't float aimlessly and you just have to accept that you're doing a bad job, but that has its own frustrations. I would be miserable in that mode for sure. So like says, friends, I know! And we befriended the goblins on the road to the fallen tree. I guess that means we're free to go. I said they were people! I knew it! Skies is also oriented toward the idea that you're going to exhaust nearly every dialogue suggestion. There are very few dialogue suggestions you're not supposed to ask. Okay, that's good to know. I think I do ask nearly all, but there's definitely somewhere I'm like, oh, that seems rude. A boulder is sticking out of the pond, only a few steps away from the bank. On top of it, you see a human-like shell curled up, with long feet leaning against the rock. The creature is a head taller than you, with grey skin and no hair nor genitals. Its feet are webbed, the legs are disproportionately long. Its yellow eyes with large black dots in the centre are as round and large as the bottom of a mug, and draw your attention away from the subtle nose and ears. It's looking straight at you, holding in the long fingers a raw fish. You made it stop in the middle of its next bite. I don't want to fight! Save. I'm ready to defend myself. You size each other up until the monster resumes its meal, and the fish blood spills on its hands. As it keenly follows your movements, it swallows the flesh whole without chewing. I ride away, but don't give it a chance to sneak up behind me. This is how I prefer to interact with the creatures. The nearby shrubs are shaking. You hear the sounds of a fight. After you get closer, the battling creatures run deeper into the woods. I dismount and look for the bandits' hideout. You look for any path to follow, but to no avail, until you spot tracks that resemble the ones from the fallen tree. They lead you farther west to an old game trail, wide enough for your mount to enter the thicket. This should save me some time. I go north. We're doing it! We're uncovering things! After a few minutes and with little effort, you reach an even wider trail. You get back in the saddle and ride uphill, following a convenient rocky trail covered in sunlight, cleared of plants. Once you get to the top, you look around. From here, you get a good view of the heart of the woods and spot the smoke coming from the villages far in the distance. The further path ends at the ravine. You look over the edge at the gentle brook far below. The hole is too wide to be crossed with a jump, even for shadow facts. You narrow your eyes. On the other side is a simple bridge made of logs and ropes, now rolled up and resting by a green shrub. I could really use a grappling hook here? Yeah, well. Even though it may take a lot of time and effort, I try to walk around the gully. Oof! Oh no. Moving downhill is filled with sweat and blood, as well as disappointment. To lead your palfrey down, you are forced to seek the gentlest slopes and ledges. Your arms are burning from swinging the axe. Thankfully, the small critters stay away from you and you can rest at the crystal clear water while Shadowfax quenches its thirst. Can I also bathe? No! Finally, you get back to the main road, which leads right back to the forest. At least I can use the bridge on my way back. The trail is canopied by overhanging trees and so narrow that your mount would struggle to turn around. Staying on foot, you grab the lead rope and follow the corridor carved in the lush thicket. I try to ignore the scent of rotting leaves. Soon after the path widens a bit, you notice a shell larger than your own torso. Its 8 legs are as long as you are tall, clinging to a tree that's in your way. You freeze. The dark, hairy thorax matches the browns of the plants. I examine the spider from a safe distance. Way around. Web. There's no web in sight. You are not sure how the spider manages to cling to the tree. I can't get past the spider. Weakness. No. What am I looking for? You have fish you can eat? That is very true. I cannot use my inventory right now. Well, anyway. Legs? You stare at the beast's legs, but they hardly ever move. If anything, all of them tremble at once. Body. Is this a fake spider? You seek any signs of corpses, cocoons, abandoned bones, but find nothing of the sort. Strength? You push your eyes to their limit, but you spot a wire. Yes! That surrounds the spider's thorax, tying it to the tree. I knew it! Oh, it's dead. You step slowly, picking up a long branch resting at the side of the trail. Once you tap the abdomen, you let out a relieved sigh. I do really like this game. I know I was complaining earlier, and I meant those complaints, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic game. You observe the spider's dried out shell in such a humid place you'd expect it to rot. Shadowfax pulls the lead, begging to turn around. I comfort it with the sound of my voice. It was fake! The path is beaten, yet your mount has to step over branches, large rocks, and even animal bones. While the trees aren't pruned, they grow sparse enough for you to have a good view of your surroundings. They're gonna hate me. I have no appearance. Can I eat my food? A pile of rotting logs, the remains of food, and even a broken wagon rest at the feet of the crag. You look up. The palisade has a massive gap in it, which now serves as a vantage point for a person you can't see clearly. They're holding an arrow on their strung bow, and while they aren't aiming at you, they'd have enough time to shoot before you got off the saddle. You have a horse, the masculine voice announces loudly, then stares at you. Thought a mad deer was running, I did. Almost shot in the nose. Another pause. Who? Ooh. Okay, I think we will stop here. This is very exciting. We have made it to the bandit village. We look terrible, but that was very fun. Alright. Let me close that. Let me go to my little end screen. Sky says, OMG, you found a word I hadn't found. Was that the wire? That's exciting. Quirrell says, there's no such thing as a perfect game. Even in the very best, there are still going to be complaints. Very true. Calmly says perfection will always be subjective. Therefore, there's no perfect anything. True, true. Saria says, for RPGs, I just want to be able to explore everything at my own pace. Very same. That's one of the reasons I'm really glad I was able to play in the non-time limited mode in this game. Thank you all so much for the company. This has been great. I will be back on Friday with more Outer Wilds, and on Sunday I am still live audiobook reading Books and Bone. And of course my Kickstarter is still running. So please do continue to share that with people if there's anyone you think would be interested you haven't told yet. Thank you all so much for the company and bearing with me, and thank you Sky and Jabal for the advice and help whenever I get stuck. I really appreciate it. Yeah, hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Goodbye everyone.